Before entering into the sutra, just few understandings, few words about the scripture, Shiva Sutra. This book is not even just a manual for enlightenment. It is a manual to create spiritual traditions. The technique which we are going to enter today is the base of whole Buddhist tradition. Each technique, each meditation technique which is described in this book is a base for one religious tradition, one spiritual philosophy. Out of this one meditation technique, whole Buddhist tradition is born. Fortunately, this book is older. That is why we are able to say from this book it started. People ask me, how can you keep Buddha also along with gods? Because Buddha did not accept Vedic gods. If you read deeply, Buddha never said there is no God or God does not exist. Whenever he was asked the question, he just avoided, just not to waste the time. Because whenever you say yes or no, you have enough arguments. People come and ask me, Swami, is there God? Atheism with a decent, cultured, responsible is straight path to enlightenment. There are many masters who led people to enlightenment through atheism. Very rational, logical, responsible. There are many masters who never accepted God but led people towards godliness. People ask me, is there God? I tell them God is not the thing to argue by saying yes or no. The moment I say yes, I'll have 1,000 more questions. The moment I say no, again 1,000 more questions. Both are not going to help you. Neither yes nor no is going to help you. Just give a technique through which he will realize. He himself will achieve the truth. Buddha did the same job. He never said yes, never said no. He just gave the method. He just gave the technique and led people to achieve the enlightenment, achieve the truth. In a very beautiful way, without accepting the authority of the Veda, he contributed to Vedic tradition. See, there will always be 50% of the people saying no for everything. See, when you say no, it feels very juicy. Saying no is really very juicy. That is why, kids, why do you think constantly kids say no for anything and everything? Because it gives them the feeling that they are grown up now. Only when you say no, you feel you have freedom. There is something called positive freedom. Freedom of acceptance and saying yes, the ultimate freedom. But unfortunately, neither we are taught about it, nor we experienced it. I can tell you actually, this moment you can liberate yourself. All you need to do is accept you as you are in the outer world and the inner world. Suddenly you will see you are unclutched. You are clutched by only one thread, non-acceptance. Sutre Maniganaiva. Krishna says, I am the thread running through the whole existence. There is one thread in you which is running through the whole suffering of your life. Non-acceptance. Just like a Lord is the thread. Krishna is the thread running, connecting the whole existence. Your non-acceptance is the thread running and connecting your whole sufferings. what you call as samsara roga, bhava roga, suffering of disease. This one moment, a simple acceptance. People ask me, I am not able to accept that I am not able to accept me, Swamiji. I tell them, alright, at least accept that you are not able to accept you. That's all. Even that is an acceptance. Even that acceptance can suddenly unclutch you. There is no need for thought flowing in you. There were one group of people who are very simple, who are able to straight away connect and accept and realize the truth. For that group, the Vedic tradition was helping. But slowly, unfortunately, a kind of a negative wave or negative group started developing because the spiritual techniques and the transmission of the spiritual enlightenment was not happening at one point. Transmission of enlightenment was not happening. So the antagonistic crowd, the crowd which started saying no to everything. If you say no logically, there won't be any problem. Saying no, just, I don't want, just for the sake of feeling strong. For that group, there is nobody to guide them. It is not that just because they have gone astray, they can be dropped or they can be completely thrown out. No. Somebody has to take care of them. So then divine descends as Buddha, who gathers all the dropouts, gathers all the people who are saying constantly no. He also gathered all of them and said, yes, he played the same tune. He played the same tune, but I can say among the masters, Buddha is the master who contributed maximum number of enlightened beings to the planet Earth. Maximum number of enlightened beings are contributed to planet Earth from the Buddhist tradition. Directly from Buddha. When he was alive, fortunately he was in the body for more than, you can say 80 years. And he became enlightened around 40. 40 years enlightened public mission. He created at least 10,000 enlightened beings. I think even now it's a achievement. I don't think anybody else has done much more than that. He contributed so much without directly saying yes or no to the question whether God exists or not. He straight away gave the technique. And that technique is from this sutra. This is the sutra which forms the core, center of the Buddhist tradition. Let me read the sutra, then we will understand. Unminding the mind, keep in the middle until it drops. A very big problem with Shiva Sutras is it is too simple. It is too simple. Only an integrated person will be able to use these techniques. These are like a fire. Only a person who is ready will straight away explode by the touch of the fire, by the touch of the Shiva Sutra. There's a beautiful Upanishad story. One disciple goes to the master and asks, Master, give me enlightenment. Just master repeats, Tattvamasi Svedagedo, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi Svedagedo, Tattvamasi, that art thou, that art thou. 9 times he repeats and the disciple is enlightened. Story ends. Not 9 times, I don't know how many times I have to repeat. Why it is not happening? The reason is the Swetaketu was fully integrated, burning to receive the truth. That's a beautiful example Ramakrishna gives. The mother pearl will be waiting for the rainwater. The mother pearl makes the pearl with the rainwater. When the rainwater falls, he just carries the rainwater into his womb and goes down into the ocean. And whatever process he does on the rainwater only becomes a pearl. So just like mother pearl waiting with a wide open mouth on the ocean above the water, she will be just waiting for the rainwater. She cannot take the salt water and make pearl. She needs pure rainwater. The moment one drop rainwater falls on the pearl, mother pearl, immediately she will go into the ocean, deepest layer, and she will start doing the process. She will come out with the pearl. Only a person who is seeking intensely like a mother pearl for the initiation, waiting with open being, the moment master utters some words, those words straight away enters into him and he carries that word, goes and sits inside his inner space, starts doing the process, comes out with the pearl of enlightenment, opens himself with the pearl of enlightenment. Only that intense seeker, even few words are enough. Even few words are enough. You will see suddenly the being blossoming, expanding and expressing itself. It's a simple word, just like Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi is it's called as Mahavagya. That art thou. It's called as Mahavagya. Means the word which straight away gives enlightenment. Vakya which straight away leads you to the experience of the Mahat, the cosmos, is Mahavagya. In this book, every line is a Mahavagya. Every word is a Mahavagya. He just says, unminding the mind, keep in the middle until it drops. Buddha calls it as a Madhya Pantha, middle path. Let's first understand how our life flows. Either it flows based on the greed, non-acceptance of your present state, non-acceptance of your present state, that becomes a driving force and starts moving. That's called rajas. We call this as a rajas, restlessness. The next thing, non-acceptance of the inevitability of the life and death, fear. When you don't accept the present moment, you start aspiring for more, and there comes greed, rajas, restlessness. When you are not ready to accept the future moments, that becomes fear, tamas. Understand? Non-acceptance of the present moment leads to greed. Non-acceptance of the future moments which may come leads to fear. When we can't understand, when we are not ready to relate with the inevitability of the life, you need to understand that word inevitability in a very deep way. That's a beautiful commentator, Bhashya, Swami Lakshman Ju. He was the one Swami whom I really wanted to meet, but he passed away. Just to meet him, I walked more than 9 months, but by the time I reached the place, I heard the news he passed away. He was the one great soul. I always repent by not taking the right decision at right time. Whoever I wanted to meet in my wandering journey, I never missed. I heard about him, I read one of his book, had a very strong feeling to meet and started. Unfortunately, I had that foolish vow of not touching the money at that time. So I had to walk all the way. I felt that vow is supposed to help me towards enlightenment. That vow itself has finally disturbed me. It has become an impractical vow. By the time he was very old and he was sick, I also heard, I know that he was sick and I know he may pass away at any time. But somehow, I was walking. By the time I reached, he passed away. He beautifully comments. I wanted to remind and give the credit for this great treasure which is shared with the world and offer my gratitude. That's the reason I remembered him now. He very beautifully explains the inevitability. For example, now I am sitting here and you are sitting here. Next moment, if you want, you can go from this hall to that hall, this hall to the outside room. This is a kind of a freedom. Second thing, you can only go, but you can't fly. You have certain freedom and you have certain bondage. Understand? There are few things which you can do. If you want, you can move the right hand. If you want, you can move the left hand. If you want, you can stand up and walk. But you cannot fly. The inevitability means this moment, whatever power you have, you will be able to handle those power. Whatever you don't have, you don't have. You may think, it is a simple thing. Why do I need to contemplate about it? If you look into your thinking system, you are constantly struggling to do something which you very clearly know you can't do it. Many times, you are constantly hitting the wall. Hitting the wall gives you ego satisfaction. Understand? And not only that, many times, you are struggling. Actually, corruption which happens in your inner space, the corruption which happens in your programming, what I call worry, comes from this very root, non-acceptance of the inevitability of the moment. I think maybe few more words you will be able to understand deeply. Let me explain in two ways. One, now, next moment if you want, you can go out or you can stand or you can be here. But this moment, you are already here. So this moment, what is inevitable. It is there. You can't avoid. Next moment, you may be able to change based on the availability of the power and freedom you have. That also in a very restricted way. There is a beautiful example from Ramakrishna that will throw more deeper and clear light on this concept. Actually, this inevitability concept, this truth, can straightaway lead to psychological revolution in you. That is why it's very subtle, very subtle. But if you can put your attention and understand every line I am trying to express. Another one difficulty is, I read his books in Sanskrit and my internal expression, the whole thing happens in Sanskrit. I have to translate the whole thing into English. That is where the difficulty comes, and Moreover, the English does not have such a rich words. Tell you honestly, English is a beautiful word for outer science, not for inner science. English is not the word to transmit the science of enlightenment, to transmit the technical things of enlightenment. Somebody asked Ramakrishna, is everything in the life is a fate or individual freedom? Do we have individual freedom or everything is predestined? Ramakrishna says beautifully, if a cow is tied on a wall or a pole, 5 feet rope is there. The cow has a freedom to sit or stand or walk around inside that 5 feet radius, but not more than that. So there is a particular part which the cow can do. Beyond that limit, it cannot do. Beyond the limit, everything is fate. The cow has freedom to eat whatever is available inside the 5 feet. It has got some freedom. But if a lion comes and attacks, it is a fate. Cow cannot save itself. If the cow behaves properly with that freedom, the owner may extend the rope. If he is not bullying around, if he is not hitting people, if he is not doing nonsensical things to disturb others, the owner may extend the rope or may even completely leave it free, liberate. So the freedom, the individual freedom or fate, predestined, comes based on our lifestyle. We do have a certain kind of a freedom. If we properly use it for a right purpose, for not hurting others, living properly, that freedom can be extended or completely given to you. Accepting the inevitability. Now, this is the freedom we have. Next moment, we may have, may not have. And this moment, whatever is happening is inevitable. That is the way it is happening. You cannot bring the moment which is lost back and correct it, alter it. There is no time machine. Inevitability means accepting all these three ideas. First thing, you cannot bring things back and alter. Second thing, this moment is this moment. Nothing can be added to it. If you want, you can only add in the next moment. Third thing, even the adding in the next moment is not completely under your control. These three understandings, when it settles in you, it brings a tremendous psychological revolution. Understand? The basic thing needed for enlightenment is psychological revolution. Clarity about the self, world and God. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Jiva is the self. How you think, how you are driven, what is your inspiration, what makes you run in your life, what makes you move in your life, why you think, how you think. This understanding is Jiva. Then Jagat, how the clarity which happened in me or the desires and fears I feel in me, how I am going to connect it with the world. If I have some desires, how am I going to get it from the world? If I have some fears, how am I going to avoid it? Avoid those things being forced upon me by the world. That relationship is Jagat, Ishvara. means the source for both, the source for individual self and the world is the Ishvara. Achieving that source, all these three is what is called enlightenment. First, having clear understanding about Jiva, why you think, how you think. This clarity will give you the experience about Jiva. Then, how to connect with the world through your fear or through your greed. Achieving what you want to achieve or keeping away from what you don't want. This is the realization about the Ish Jagat world. The third, Ishvara, which is the source of these two, experiencing it. Actually, it's a very subtle truth, but very strong truth. Just by understanding, it can liberate you. Just a simple understanding, it can solve so many problems, so many things. The click will straight away happen just by understanding. This sutra is the Nitya Sutra. Nitya Sutra means you need to practice it eternally. Actually, anything which you need to practice eternally, you don't need to practice. All you need to do is it should become part of you. It should become part, it should be internalized. Anything you need to practice in particular time only, you need to put your effort and practice. Anything which is Nitya Sadhana, the eternal practice, you don't have to do anything. Understand and internalize it. Very internalizing your thinking structure, your way of behaving, the whole thing will be totally transformed. Acceptance of the inevitability of every moment happening in your life. This moment you are sitting over. Next moment, if you want, you can stand, but you cannot fly. These three statements, if it is internalized, always your steps will be with a very clear idea of what you can do. It will never be too big jumping. It will never be crazy things. The big problem is, people come and ask me, suddenly Swamiji, everything was going well, suddenly my life has become a failure. Understand, failure will never be suddenly. It will never be suddenly. We always think it is suddenly because we never understood the warnings. We never looked into ourselves, what we are doing. If you don't understand what you are doing, naturally failure will be sudden. Understand, in the planet Earth, created by God, only miracles happen, never accidents happen. Problem is, when you don't have understanding and clarity, even miracles look like accidents. Miracles and accidents, actually both are same, which is not understandable by logic, which is not definable by your logic. Based on how you face it, you call it as a miracle or accident. If the same thing happens to your neighbor, it is considered as an accident. If it happens to you, it is a miracle. That's all, nothing else. How you face it, how you face it, how you see it. If you have the deep passion, look into the life and accepting the inevitability of the moment, everything is miracle. You are still breathing, still your heart is beating, still you are alive. It's a miracle. Why should you be alive? What right you have? People tell me, Swamiji, that is my birthright. I tell them, birth itself is not your right. Where is the question of birthright? If we look with acceptance, the life with a little relaxed understanding, you will see everything is miracle. If you look with a restlessness, irritation, non-acceptance, everything is an accident. Everything is an accident. Your husband will look like an accident happened in your life. Your kids will look like biggest accidents happened in your life. And your house will look the worst accident happened in your life. Everything will look like a big accidents happened in your life. Actually, all you need is a simple psychological revolution happening inside your system. Just this one idea. Acceptance and realizing the inevitability of the moment. See, inevitability of the moment you don't need to accept. Whether you accept or not, it is going to be that way, that's all. If you are intelligent enough, enjoy. Otherwise, it's okay. That's all. There is nothing else. You cannot do anything about it. Whether life is an accident or miracle depends on you. That is why the Upanishad says the person who is initiated, the initiated person, for him whole world is heaven. Amritasya, immortal heaven. The person is uninitiated. See, understand the word initiation. It means not that doing some ceremony or ritual. Initiation means the click happening in you. When a master expresses the truth, the realization, if the click happens in you, if suddenly you feel, oh God, right, what he says is right. I was always thinking this. He put it in the right way. If you feel, whatever I am speaking, always you thought about it, but I am verbalizing it. I am properly putting it in word. Initiation has happened. That is the scale, whether initiation has happened or not. If the initiation happens, the whole world is heaven. If the initiation is not happening, then whole world is hell. All you need to understand is this two quality. When you do not accept this moment, starts the greed. When you do not accept the moments which may come, there starts fear. Out of greed, the quality of rajas gets added into your system. Out of fear, the quality of tamas gets added into your system. All you need to understand, the more and more time you spend in the middle path means accepting the inevitability and accepting your present moment, accepting you as you are now, understanding the inevitability of the life which may happen in you, happen for you. When you have these two understanding, that is what we call sattva, means relaxed, restful middle path. Neither you are driven by the non-acceptance of the present moment, nor you are driven by the non-acceptance of the future moments. Non-acceptance of the present moment and future moment are the root of rajas and tamas, restlessness and fear, restlessness and inertia. This simple understanding, this psychological revolution, actually the moment initiation happens in you, every word which comes out of the master rings bell in your heart, and that becomes a strong, clear programming in you. Programming your life based on the Vedic knowledge. even the Vedic knowledge seems to be too small word. The right word is the true knowledge. Actually, Vedic knowledge is true knowledge. But in course of time, people have started thinking Vedic knowledge is something like a brandy. No. All of us need to understand the word Veda. Veda means the knowledge which comes out of your inner space when you are unclutched. When you are unclutched and relaxed, whatever research and development happens automatically inside you without you contributing or you interfering. That is Veda. If you just keep quiet, Veda will happen in you. That's all is the basic truth. When you unclutch and rest in a silence, relax in silence, a strong visualizations without verbalizations will happen in you. Those truths are only called Vedas. There is a beautiful description about who is Rishi in Sanskrit. Mantra drashta is Rishi. Understand? Not the person who heard the mantra, but the person who sees the mantra. Mantra drashta. Drashta means who sees. Means the whole knowledge or truth will happen in you as a visualization, not as a verbalization. When you drop from verbalization, unclutch from verbalization, mantra drashta will happen. Now we are all only listening the mantra. Means like a sound, either from outside or from inside. It comes out only as a verbalization. Then you are not Rishi. Relax. Then it is not Vedas. It is not the true knowledge. It is perverted knowledge. In Sanskrit we use the word, the perverted knowledge. Means half truth or perverted truth. When you unclutch from the verbalization which is constantly happening, your strong visualizations beyond your verbalization will come out. All you need to do is put all your effort and relax from unclutching. Suddenly you will see a very strong visualizations will start happening in you. Those visualizations are only called as visions. Mantra drashta. You will see the mantras. Mantra means knowledge, truth. You will see the mantras. You will see the truth. That is what is called Veda. True knowledge. When you understand the true knowledge, you don't need any other separate practice. Your very breathing will become ajapa. Ajapa, ajapa. You don't need to repeat any mantra. Your very breathing will repeat the mantra. Your very breathing will repeat the mantra. There is a beautiful Upanishad, Paramashiva Upanishad. It says, anybody who repeats a mantra is a fool. Sorry to say that because till yesterday we repeated 1 million mantra. It says, only fools repeat mantras. The psychological revolution should happen in you such a way your breathing will start repeating the mantra. Means even your breathing sound will be beautifully heard by you. You will be in such a deep peace. It's called Hamsa Mantra. The person who is able to hear the hum, sum, the inhaling and exhaling sound 24 hours. Understand? I am now opening up many new things, many new truths. I don't want to miss this sutra. This sutra is I am basically in the heart a Buddhist. To tell you the truth, my love for Buddha is such, I can say such a pure, ultimate expression, such an amazing expression. This whole sutra, anybody understands, it does not need a separate practice. Buddha calls it as a Madhyapanta, and in one of his very famous technique, Vipassana, is based on this sutra. Understand, if the psychological revolution happens in you, if you are in Madhyapanta, if you are in middle path, means if you are in a complete acceptance of your present moment and the future moments which may come, you will be able to very clearly hear the hum sound of the inhaling and some sound of the exhaling. Means you will be completely aware of the movements happening inside your body. Whoever, you see, all of you will be able to be aware of the hum sound, which is inhaling sound, and some mantra, which is exhaling sound. If you sit quietly and see, watch, but not 24 hours. If you try now, for next few moments, you will be aware, till you get the sambar smell from Anna Mandir. Not after that. Till you start thinking, I don't know what happened to my car, I don't know what happened to this, what happened to that. Till then you will be able to have the ajapa japa sound. Ajapa japa means the sound which is japa, mantra japa. Repetition of the mantra which is happening continuously in you. Ordinary mantra chanting, everything is only few minutes you do or few hours you do. This mantra is being chanted 24 hours by you, by your system. If you can be aware of that mantra, hum, sum, 24 hours, you are Paramahamsa. That's all. Understand? A person who is in the middle path, even now, if just for a few moments decide, I'll accept my present moment as it is, and I accept all the future moments, including my death, now. With this acceptance in your heart, just sit for a few moments, you will see very clearly you will be able to clearly experience all the movements happening in you. Whether it is inhaling or exhaling or inside your mind, one or two thoughts moving, or your navel center coming up and going down, you will be in completely a deep, centered, integrated, aware space. This you can experience when you have this understanding in your heart. The person who carries this understanding in the heart 24 hours, who is able to maintain that Hamsa mantra 24 hours, including dream state, is Paramahamsa. The whole technique of Vipassana, breathwatch, Hamsa mantra repetition, everything has only one knack, this technique. Unminding the mind, keep in the middle until it drops. How the Rajas starts happening in you. Rajas will bring a kind of a heat in you. It will bring a kind of a heat. Actually, if you sit in a roller coaster, you can try, just sit in a roller coaster. Don't be agitated and don't talk to people or anything. Just sit and observe your navel center, what happens there. And during the roller coaster, just close your eyes and observe what happens here. What happens inside your system is Rajas. Actually, I tried many of these things to explain exactly. See, Rajas is not even the quality which you experience when you are angry, when you are restless, when you are caught in the lust. Because when you are caught in the lust, you don't experience pure Rajas. You experience restlessness and fear both together. If you are unmarried and caught in the lust, the fear of law. If you are married and caught in the lust, the fear of rejection. You are not experiencing pure restlessness even during lust or anger. Understand? The pure lust can be experienced in roller coaster. The pure restlessness. Because from the navel center, when your body goes through a big change, that pure restlessness, the pitta, will start working in your life. When you come down, you will see a different excitement which was not there before you sat. Unfortunately, the societies which are addicted to this excitement is prone to depression, because this excitement is literally like eating your own bones. If dog starts eating its own bone, what will happen? Same way, you are enjoying by destroying your life force. Enjoyment, being in the middle path, will constantly enrich you and add the ability to enjoy more and more. And will add the ability to enjoy more and more. The intensity of the enjoyment will be getting deeper and deeper. But the enjoyment which comes out of the restlessness will tire your senses, tire your body, and will more and more lead to depression. Of course, there can be no enjoyment out of tamas or fear. You will only restrain from something for the sake of future. All I want you to understand is, understand how Rajas feels. Actually, you can try at least once to give you the understanding about how Rajas feels, because when you sit in roller coaster and come down, after that just feel how your mouth tastes, but you need to be completely aware. You need to have the complete awareness how your mouth tastes. From this area only the Rajas will start raising. Usually Rajas rises through this area of the body, Tamas rises through this area of the body, Sattva rises through the center of the body. You will feel a kind of things happening through this area. Just feel once and see how Rajas feels. Why I want you to feel, whenever you have that feeling, stop deciding. Do not make any decisions, big decision in your life. Do not do any business decision. Do not do any relationship decision. Be very clear. Those moments you are caught now in Rajas. So just sit and try to come back. Balance yourself to the middle path. Whenever, try once sitting in roller coaster, once or twice, try that. To identify the feeling. Because I tried, I experimented with many things. Somehow I have to make my disciples understand what is middle path. I have to give a very clear explanation. Only then people will be able to practice. See, I cannot just talk in the terms which you can't practice. Then useless. Then maybe I will be telling you I know too much. But that is not the way you will be helped. See, the philosopher's work is constantly to prove that he knows too much. Master's work is constantly to work. The disciple should know too much. The whole purpose is different. I was experimenting how to tell exactly how you will be able to find out whether your Rajas is working or Tamas is working. I saw the pure Rajas gets activated in roller coaster. When your body goes through a very wild movements, unexpected, unmanageable, wild movements. If you, in India, we do the ceremony of firewalking. Even during that time, the Rajas gets awakened. Of course, here I can't ask you to go through firewalking. Try the roller coaster. That can give you the idea but before sitting, be completely relaxed and observe. Put your awareness near the navel center and see throughout the ride, that 60 seconds or 90 seconds, what is happening inside your system. When you get down, again, don't start talking, don't start doing anything. Sit in on corner and observe what is happening. What all the parts in your body are restless, or how is your mind feeling? Just observe. That energy is Rajas. Once you understand internally what is Rajas, you are saved. Because whenever that feeling repeats, you know this is the time I have to balance me. I have to get back to middle path. I have to get back to Madhya Pantha. This is not the time for me to answer any question to my friends or family or relative. Understand? Many of us repent doing one small mistake and losing very big relationships, very big business deals, very big friends, very big people in our life. Before taking that kind of decision, before meeting that kind of person, before talking to that kind of person, just see, you are in Madhya Pantha, you will have the right word. See, same concept can be expressed in a beautiful right word. You will have the right word. All you need to do is, internally you should know, you should have that understanding, whether your Rajas is awakened or Tamas is awakened. All you need to do is getting the glimpse, catching the glimpse, how your Rajas or Tamas is operating. One more important thing, always when Rajas is operating, there will be one line of Tamas. When Tamas is operating, there will be one line of Rajas. Even if you understand any one of the energy, that's enough. Even if you get the knack of finding out whether you are having Rajas or Tamas is enough. Because you need to balance, come to the center. Whether it is Rajas or Tamas, we don't need that. We need to come to the center. If you have the idea how to diagnose, how to find out whether you are now caught in the Rajas, that is more than enough. You don't need to bother about Tamas. Then come back. Coming back, very simple thing. Just for a few minutes, remember, I accept all the moments which is yet to come in my life and this moment. Whenever I give the bracelet or the mala to people, I tell them, remember these great truths, for that only this mala. What for the mala? The mala is each bead is the moment which is be constantly happening in your life, like a cycle. Like a cycle. The locket is the present moment which is hanging. Accept the present moment and each moment which is going to happen in your life. Remember, whenever the Rajas is active in you, just remember the mala and hold the mala, or just even remember that you are wearing it. Why you are wearing it? To bring you back to the middle path, Madhya Pantha. To bring you back, to remind you to accept this moment and every possible moment, every moment which is going to happen in your life. The moment you bring this understanding to your heart, in few seconds you will start listening that Hamsa sound, Hamsa Sabda, the mantra which is chanted by you 24 hours continuously. I think all of you are able to understand the idea of the Hamsa. If you just sit without any word, very clearly you can see that inhaling, breathing, the prana which goes inside creates a sound of, and the exhaling prana, the prana which is going out, creates a sound. Only thing, because you are creating too much noise from inside, this sound is never heard by you. You have too much noise from inside. Too many fighting is going on. Too much of sound is going on. If at all some software can come which can be fixed to your mind and which can transcribe, like a dragon software, the transliterating software which the doctors are using for transcription. I also tried to use. Anyhow. If at all there can be some software which can be fixed to you, and if it starts transcribing, please never ever read that paper. Never ever read. Let somebody else read, it's okay, but not you. You will have the shock of your life. Because even before the thought comes up, 2-3 censor, editing, fight, pro, con, everything goes through inside. Practically, before a thought reaches your upper mind, at least 10 times the adding and deleting and editing goes on inside. Adding, deleting and editing goes on inside. Such a, the torture. Because so much of sound is happening inside, you are not able to hear that hamsa sound. Even once, if you can get back to that hamsa sound and just be in that sound and start relating. Only in the initial level it will be a little difficult. How can I be in the deep peace and talk to people also? The initial level, because you are habituated to lose yourself when you connect with the world. Understand? Whenever you lose yourself, your center, the self-remembrance, the clarity or the idea about the jiva, when you connect with the Jagat, Jagat will take over you. Understand? If you put your awareness on you, you will be a living spirit and world will be a dead matter. It will listen to whatever you say. If you lose yourself, if you lose your center, the middle path, if you lose the awareness about the jiva, individual self, and jump on the world out of fear or greed, the world will become a living spirit and you will become matter and world will dictate on you. Whether you want to be a spirit or a matter, you can decide. One important thing you need to understand. In ordinary people, in all of your case, matter adds value to you. How many cars you have, how many houses you have, what is your bank balance, that adds value to you. If you go to Ramana Maharshi's ashram or Vivekananda's ashram, there is a small coconut shell used by Ramana Maharshi and just simple chappals used by Vivekananda is worshipped and respected. Millions of people come there just to pay respect and touch that. Matter is added value by the spirit. Understand? In ordinary case, matter in all of normal man, matter, the material which you are having, your car, house, bungalow, bank balance adds value to you. In their case, spirit added value to ordinary matter. Whether your jiva is going to add value to Jagat or Jagat is going to add the value to jiva is your decision. Whether your self, spirit is going to add value to the world or world is going to add value to you. Keep yourself alive by keeping yourself in the Madhya Pantha, in the center. In the initial level, because you are trained to lose yourself when you relate with the world, either in the fear or in the greed, you may lose the track. Again and again you may lose the track of that Madhya Pantha. You may lose the track of that Hamsa Sabda, the Hamsa Mantra. For a few days, don't bother, come back. Again, come back. Try to relate with people. Try to relate that business dealings. Try to do your interviews. Try to do your physical work. Try to do everything, including eating, even while you lie down and fall asleep. Try to do everything just with this one middle path, bringing yourself back to the balance. Even if you lose your balance, lose your Hamsa mantra 100 times a day, that is okay. 100 times you had the mantra, that is why you are able to lose 100 times. So don't bother about 100 times losing. Remember and give the credit to you that 100 times you remembered. So 100 times you failed in the quitting the smoking is not a big thing. 100 times you tried. So 100 times you may forget the Hamsa mantra, that is okay. 100 times you remembered, that is a great thing. So try, in the few days you will see. You are able to talk, you are able to relate with people, you are able to relate with the world, you are able to relate and do all your responsibility from morning till night, 24 hours with the balance of Hamsa mantra. With the balance of what Shiva says as keep in the middle until it drops. Understand? Whenever you come back to the center, to the balance of Hamsa mantra, let me describe once more very clearly the just essence of this whole technique. Just carry the understanding in your heart very clearly. I accept this moment, what I have in the outer world and the inner world, as me. And I accept all the moments which is yet to happen in my life throughout the eternity. Just carry this acceptance in you, in the heart, and sit in a relaxed way. You will see there is no need for any sound from inside. There is no need for any movement from inside. There is no need for any disturbance from inside. The Hamsa mantra is flowing beautifully. The Hamsa mantra is moving by itself without you repeating, without you being conscious of it, without you being aware of it, without you putting any effort to it. Just stay in the Hamsa mantra. Initially, start doing simple work like talking to your close friend where you don't need to lose yourself. Talking to a simple business dealings, or playing with a child, or moving your body in a simple way. Try all these small things with the balance of this Hamsa mantra, and you will see within few days you are able to be constantly centered on Hamsa mantra and able to do all your activity. Understand, I promise, when you are centered on Hamsa mantra, you will never do a mistake. Because the energy which flows in you will be sattva. The sattva energy is so intelligent, it knows exactly how to relate with the world, how to relate with the Jagat. When a sattva is happening, the Devi, the Jagat, the world, the Jagat is called Bhudevi. She becomes your servant. She becomes your assistant. She becomes your friend. She completely falls in tune with you. Simply, your intelligence will open how to relate with every moment, how to relate with every relationship. Your intelligence will be completely available to you. It is not that we are not intelligent, but when the Rajas is active, our intelligence will not become available to us, will not be available to us. That is the moments we make mistakes in relationship or business dealings or in the life. All you need to do, bring yourself back to the Hamsa mantra. Bring yourself back to that middle. Bring yourself back to that center. From the rajas or tamas. That's a beautiful story. One drunkard goes to Ramakrishna and asks, Bhagavan, do something, I am not able to drop. Ramakrishna says very, very funny instruction. He says, before drinking, just remember Kali and offer it and drink. He comes back in 3 days and says, I am not able to drink, it has dropped me. Understand, it may look like a miracle. I tell you, it is a simple science. Anybody who can bring themselves back to the Madhya Pantha. But one important thing, the drunkard was very deeply devoted to Kali. So whenever he remembered Kali, automatically he came back to Madhya Pantha. He came back to middle path. He came back to the Hamsa Mantra. So naturally, the Hamsa Mantra is intelligent enough to guide your body and mind, to guide your system. Understand? This Hamsa Mantra can do a big psychological revolution inside your system. Shiva says, unminding the mind, keep in the middle until it drops. So just rest in the Hamsa Mantra. Whenever you move this side and that side, try once to find out see, if you understand the physical symptom of rajas, you will never miss it. Do not have the mental symptom because you don't believe your mind. Understand? I have seen many people keeping, no. Whenever I am agitated, I am in rajas. No. These kind of scales, you will never be able to remember. When you are agitated, you will not remember you are agitated. When you are restless, you will not remember you are restless. Have some physical symptom remembered in your system. So whenever that physical symptom happens, you should remember you are in rajas. The wrong energy is active in you. That physical symptom you will be able to catch the glimpse in the roller coaster. When you go through that, you will catch the glimpse of the physical symptom of rajas. Even during lust or during anger, what happens in you is not the pure physical symptom of rajas. It is the mixture symptom, or it's a mixture of the signals of rajas and tamas both. So don't take that as a signal of rajas. This is the roller coaster experience is the pure signal of rajas. Of course, it will be different for every different person. That's why I am not able to describe. I am able to only describe only what I went through. It will be little different for different persons. But you can catch the glimpse. How your body feels when you are caught by rajas. And whenever that starts happening in you, come back to center, Madhya Pantha, middle path, the path of sattva, sattvic energy. Then you will see naturally the whole intelligence, the sattvic energy is awakened in you, and the whole intelligence, the sattvic truth, the sattvic bliss overflows in you. Whenever you come back to that center, if a strong visualization happens in you, that is vision, creativity. If the strong, joyful mood happens in you, that is ananda. That is ananda. If you are completely aware of what is going to happen in your future, that is called chit. If a strong visualization comes out of you, that is sat. If strong clarity about what is going to happen in your life comes out of you, that is chit, awareness. If a strong, joyful experience comes out of you, that is ananda. Satchit ananda can be achieved just by coming back to sattva. Coming back to the middle path. Understand? Whenever you come back to middle path, first day, if you try, you may have to come back at least 100 times, because 100 times you will miss. To one of my brahmachari, I gave this as a technique. I gave him the counter in the hand. I told him, whole day, just count how many times you come back. It's a very beautiful experiment. The first day, it was almost like 100. After 1 week, it was drastically reduced to 10. Only 10 times he missed that hamsa, balancing of the hamsa. And within 3 months, whole day, he was able to relate the same activity, same responsibility, same duty, same work with the balance of the hamsa mantra. All I say is 90 days guarantee. 90 days guarantee. Try just for, surely 90 days is too much. Again and again come back. Come back. Somebody asked me, Swami, every day you are giving one technique. What one to try? Which one to try? See, which rings bell in your heart. Suddenly when you hear some technique, this is going to work for me. I know for sure. This is what is the exact problem what I am having. If some technique rings bell in you, take up that technique that day and continue. In few days you will know that you are really falling in tune, feeling connected. That is the technique for you. That is the path for you. That is the way to realization. Surely within 90 days you will get back. You will be able to be in that sattva, the madhyapanta, and able to do the whole activity. Being in madhyapanta, see, by being in madhyapanta, suddenly you will see the number of thoughts coming before the action starts reducing. That is the period that is called living enlightenment. When completely thoughts drop and you are able to do all your activity without thoughts, you are enlightened. Understand? If you are able to conduct all your activity 24 hours with the balance of the hamsa mantra, the ajapa japa, repetition of mantra without repeating, you are enlightened. If you are struggling but trying to balance more and more and you are more and more getting centered, that is living enlightenment, sadhana. You are living the enlightenment moments. When the thought stops appearing, you are able to act without any thought, just with the total balance of hamsa mantra, you are enlightened. That's all. This is the gist of what Buddha says in his great techniques, Vipassana, Anapanasati, Madhyapanta, in the whole thing, technique and teaching, Shiva has given in this one sutra beautifully. Unminding mind. That is actually teaching. That is the teaching which you need, the understanding which you need to carry in your heart. Keep in the middle until it drops. It is a technique which you need to practice till the enlightenment happens. So, now we'll take a few moments to enter into this meditation. Today also we will start with the one sutra. I think most of you are aware. For last 15 days, too many things are happening in the temple and ashram. We need little time for the people to organize this and arrange for the next cultural programs and everything. That's the reason. Yesterday and today, I'm doing only one sutra. From tomorrow evening, we'll start having 2 sessions. We will have 2 sutras. So, let's enter into the sutra now. Enter into the meditation. Before ending the session, please sit straight. Sit in a very relaxed way. Very consciously, with a strong decision, intensely create an intention that you are accepting you as you are in the outer world and in the inner world this moment. Tell yourself, I have enough in the outer world, nice things. I have enough of good qualities in the inner world, nice things. I am accepting myself completely. No need to develop myself in the outer world or in the inner world. If I have ego, that is okay. If I have guilt, that is okay. If I have fear, that is okay. If I have greed, that is okay. Whatever you have been told that you have, it's okay. Accept. Right or wrong. Decide consciously, I accept. Please close your eyes and sit in a very relaxed way without moving the body. Body movements will create thoughts. So if your body is stable without movement, it can take you to the deeper silence. Whatever objection your mind raises, no, I can't accept me, I can't accept this, at least accept that. Accept that also. Accept the present moment. Accept all the future moments. Whatever your mind thinks as the worst thing can happen to your life, accept even those moments. If it happens, you cannot avoid. It is inevitable. Understand the inevitability and accept it. Do not try to do anything. There is no need to repeat any mantra. Just sit with this acceptance. Automatically you will see your breathing flows with the deep sound of that hum sound. Just you become silent. You will hear that mantra which is getting repeated constantly, continuously in you. Do not try consciously to add the sound. If it happens, you just be silent, carrying this deep understanding of acceptance in your being. Let the tamas and rajas be balanced. Let you be in sattva. The moment you accept you, there will not be any thought. Whatever you saw and heard from the outer world, drop it and accept it. Let the sound of the ajapa, happen by itself. Try to add sound. Do not try to repeat the mantra. Just relax with the deep acceptance in your heart. Let the mantra happen in you. let the Hamsa mantra repeat itself deeply. You lost the connection, come back and again sit with a deep acceptance. Try continuously. Actually, this technique is not supposed to be done in a particular time. Continuously, whenever you feel that rajas is happening, come back. Even otherwise, come back and be in that middle path, Madhya Panta, in the Sattva. Let the Hamsa mantra repeat itself. Because you are talking constantly inside yourself, the Hamsa mantra is never heard by you. If you relax from talking, inner chattering, by the acceptance, the Hamsa mantra will be heard by you. Again and again come back and be in the Hamsa mantra, ajapa japa, the middle path, the sattva, center. Suddenly you will see, as I was telling, this brahmachari's counter. First day you may need 100 times to come back. Within few weeks it will become 10 times. Within 3 months you will see you don't need to come back at all. Constantly the ajapa, the Hamsa mantra is happening in you. You are centered in sattva, but you are able to do all your activity. Your profession, your business, your relationships, your life, and you will be able to manage everything, but you are centered on ajapa, you are centered on sattva. That is what I call living enlightenment. That is what I call Jivan Mukti. Means even while you are living, you are liberated. Because of you are centered on the sattva, you will have a clear understanding about the jiva, means the self. You will have a clear understanding on way to relate with the jagat, the world. Because of these two clarity, naturally you will fall into the source, which is Ishvara, God. The person who has realized Jiveshwara Jagat, the person who can play with all these three and enjoy, he is the enlightened being. So understand and carry this acceptance and the truth in your heart, and let this ajapa japa, the Amsa mantra, repeat itself in your inner space, and let you live enlightenment. Let you all achieve and radiate the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you.
हृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण हृदुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्त सप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्टा मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अदिते पुत्र शङ्कर शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते हृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विवस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण हृदुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्त सप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्ट मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अदिते पुत्र शङ्कर शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते हृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते।
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण हृदुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते।
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते।
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्त सप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्ट मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते।
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अतिदे पुत्र शङ्कर शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। हृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमम् कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते। सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्दप्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्तसप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्ट मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अतिदे पुत्र शङ्कः शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरम् भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते हृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्तसप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्ट मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अदिते पुत्र शङ्कर शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते आदित्य हृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमम् कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण हृदुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्तसप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्ट मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अदिते पुत्र शङ्कः शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते भक्तहृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमम् कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्तसप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्ट मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अतिदे पुत्र शङ्कः शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते भक्तहृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजा प्राण ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्तसप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्ट मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अतिदे पुत्र शङ्कः शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते हृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्तसप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्टा मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अदिते पुत्र शङ्कः शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते नित्यहृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
आदित्य सविता सूर्य खगशोषागभस्तिमान् सुवर्ण सखशोभानुर्हिरण्यरेता दिवाकर
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हरिदश्व सहस्रार्चि सप्तसप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मत्तन् शम्भुत्विष्ट मार्ताण्डांशुमान्
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
हिरण्यगर्भ शिशिरः स्तपनो भास्करो रविः अग्निगर्भो अदिदे पुत्र शङ्कः शिशिरनाशनः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते हृदयं पुण्यं सर्वशत्रुविनाशनं जयावहं जपे नित्यम् अक्षयं परमं शिवं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वपापप्रणाशनं चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमम् कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते रश्मिमन्तं समुद्यन्तं देवासुरनमस्कृतं पूजयस्व विभस्वन्तं भास्करं भुवनेश्वरं कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदेवात्मको हेश तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः एव देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पादिकबस्तिभिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्द प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदकालो यमः सोमो ह्यपाम्पतिः कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते
साध्या ह्यश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वाग्नि प्रजाप्राण ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः
कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम् आनन्दगन्ध ईश्वरं भक्तहृदयनिवासिनं नित्यानन्दं नमोऽस्तुते कोटिसूर्यस्वरूपिणम्